Hello and welcome to the Fantasy Threesome FPL podcast. Yes, hello there. I'm Phil. This is the Fantasy Threesome FPL podcast, and I am here with this man. Anthony! How are you, Anthony?
Afternoon. I'm a bit cold, boys. Feels like winter has come early this year.
Have you put the heating on yet?
Oh God, no.
Okay.
There is a rule. It cannot go on before October. Absolutely not.
Okay.
Yeah, my middle child comes downstairs now to get changed in the morning, and the other day I saw her. She walked over to the radiator and put her clothes on them, and was like, "What's going on? Why is this not on? What?" Yeah,
It feels cold enough.
Yeah, it does feel very chilly in the mornings. Very chilly
Very
in
chilly.
the mornings. Yeah, I am also here with this man. That's right, Bewitched. How are you, Mike?
Big fan of them. Adele was long my favourite. Yes, very good. Thank you. Yes, not bad at all.
I'm sure we've commented on this before, but Adele, I think it was Adele, commented on the shoes I was wearing once, which was very kind of her.
She did.
Wow.
Yeah. It needs to be, in case there's any confusion, it's Adele with an E, just to separate it from the other Adele.
Who's also got an E at the end of her name.
Yeah, I was going to say she's definitely got an E.
Oh, they're very good, lads. But Adele is Edele in Bewitched.
Stop getting Bewitched wrong. Okay.
No, that's a fact.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine, mate. Now, before we came on, we said, look, it's been the international break. We're recording this quickly as a preview for game week 4. We don't need to go over our last week's scores.
Please
and
no.
Mike said, yeah, that's exactly what he said. Please no. But just so we know, Ant played his wild card, got 85 points. I didn't play my wild card, got 81 points. Mike did play his wild card?
The week before.
No, he played his wild card and got rewarded with 58 points.
Ouch. It was a wild card with a long-term view taken, not a short-term, boys.
I mean, looking at your team, it's a long-term view taken to bank a load of money just in case there's some sort of crisis and you need cash.
It's rainy day fund, but it's the no Salah, no Haaland. That's the sticky point. I have neither. I've got a fantastic squad. There's points all over the pitch. There really are, but not as many seemingly as Haaland and Salah.
Yeah,
that is unfortunate. Yeah. Just quickly, because we did discuss it in great length when Mike was on holiday eating his my veg sausages. When I had I did my wild card. I'm glad I did because I had Haaland. I brought him in and made him captain. So that was the main reason I got 85 points this week. So
well done.
If you can't beat him, join him.
Yep, fair. Yeah, I've had Haaland and Salah since the start.
All right, cocky.
Well, no, but it's not cocky because I'm still on. I am ahead of you, but I'm still on the same points as Mike, which is never a good place to be in fantasy football.
No, I am only 8 behind though, so it's at least quite close, even though we are just a few weeks in.
It's also worth pointing out that we are 3 weeks into the season, and I've used 2 of my chips. So,
the use of free hits so early is quite incredible.
Messy.
Yeah, not ideal that, Mike, if I'm honest.
But they're not. The chips don't hold as much value as they once did with this whole rolling over of transfers thing.
Yeah, your chips don't lie. That's the thing. And to quote Shakira, and which chips have you used? You've gone wild card
and free hit the previous week. Listen, that free hit.
It worked well, to be fair.
No, the free hit worked. It worked. 85-point week with Captain Haaland for that 1 week I watched him.
That is brilliant.
But I knew that he was only going to perform in that Ipswich game, and then he turned into a dud again.
Just like against West Ham, yeah?
Yeah,
cool.
You've also, I mean, there's the mystery chip there, Mike, and which they haven't announced what it is. You must be hoping that the mystery chip is just you get another one of all your chips.
That's exactly what I'm hoping for. Yes.
You know, like if they say, you've got one wish, what would you wish for? And people say, unlimited wishes, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it feels like. So,
I've got a great squad though, lad. I'm very happy.
No, I'm pleased. I mean, let's look at your squad then, heading over to this week. So, just to get an idea of, because you have played the squad game, and there's obviously different ways to play fantasy football, and I think that's the joy of it, obviously. So I'll just share your screen here. Have you made, because you were in Germany eating your? Oh no, sorry. Last time we recorded, you were in Belgium, and you've been to Germany since then.
I've had 6 nights in Germany as well. Yes, I'm a bit of a globetrotter these days.
Really is.
So yeah, I've made 2 changes this week, but because I've been using the wildcards, I had the 2 transfers to use, so it doesn't cost me anything. Beautiful thing.
Okay.
So this is what my squad looks like going into game week 4.
For the YouTubers, this is what your team looks like then. So we've got David. Go on.
You're looking at what my team looked like prior to the 2 changes. So let me talk you through what it actually looks like now.
Okay.
So I've got keepers wise, I've got Raya and Henderson who rotate fantastically fixture wise. Henderson this weekend will be home to Leicester. Across the back 4, well, let's give you all 5. I've got starting for me, I've got Gavardio home to Brentford, Konsa home to Everton, and Trent home to Forest. But I also have Leif Davis and Gabriel on my bench. In the midfield, I've got Cole Palmer, who's home to Bournemouth.
Welcome.
Louis Diaz, away to Bournemouth. Louis Diaz and Diogo Jota, who are home to Forest. And Eberici Eze, who is home to Leicester. On my bench, I've got Morgan Rogers. And then across the front 3, I've got Pedro home to Ipswich, Watkins home to Everton, and Isak away at Wolves. So just to repeat, the teams that my starting 11 will play against this weekend, they are Leicester, Brentford, Everton, Forest, Bournemouth, Forest, Leicester, Forest, Wolves, Everton, Ipswich.
Bad week incoming.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, come on. Yeah.
That is pretty handy. And you've done it for the long term. The issue is anytime Haaland bangs, you're in trouble.
Yeah. And ditto Salah.
Yeah, right. So I've seen a lot of people are moving to, I believe it's probably called in the fantasy football community, Be More Like Phil, and they're doubling up Salah Haaland. It's kind of become a non-negotiable for at least 50% of players, I think now.
Yeah.
So, anytime those players go big, you're in trouble.
Yes.
So have you got any? So you haven't got any Manchester City coverage at all?
Only Gavardio at the back.
Liverpool,
I'm well covered. I've got Trent, Diaz, and Jota. But
yeah, I like that.
But no, at the back. I'm just at the back for City, Gavardio, and we know that the way that Pep is, he's not guaranteed to start. But the good news is, I've got in terms of cover, that's all rotatable. Konsa, Trent, Leif Davis, and Gabriel as the other 4. Means that should he be swapped out, we're just praying. I'll start him most weeks, but pray that he's not coming on for the last 5.
Konsa limped off in the England game, didn't he? Which was a slight worry because I've got Konsa, and also Palmer's got one of those injuries that I would describe as I can't be bothered to play for England this week injuries.
Yeah.
Well, so was Watkins. They were both pulled out, and the same reason was given to receive treatment for ongoing issues. Now, Palmer hasn't looked like he's had any ongoing issues. Ollie Watkins, on the hand, looks
Shooting.
like he's got weights tied to his legs. So
he's not looked quite so sharp, has he?
I could do with him turning it around because there were other options in his price bracket that are appealing, but just that run of fixtures that the Villa have got, you've got to think that it's going to turn at some point for him.
That run of fixtures you're talking about is Everton at home, followed by Wolves at home, Ipswich away, Man United at home, Fulham away, and Bournemouth at home. It's pretty much as good a run as you could hope for.
Yeah.
Bar having Southampton in there, I would suggest. So Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people getting Villa assets in, but because of the whole situation with Watkins, yeah, that makes me a bit nervy. They haven't looked like Villa of last year, and they've got Champions League football coming out.
Yeah, and there's a lot of games. There's a lot of games in the Champions League with the new format. But yeah,
boys,
we'll see.
We'll see. You know who you need to bring in, don't you, from Villa?
Go on.
Tielemans.
My
love for Tielemans.
You were talking him up, and he's come good for you, hasn't he?
He got 1 point. Yeah, so not so much. Yeah, I don't know what this love for Yuri Tielemans is, but yeah, I mean, there's some. I mean, he is a differential there. I mean, he's got less than 2% ownership, but that's probably because he's got 3 points in his last 2 games. But Morgan Rogers, actually, I was going to say, one thing about your team that I noticed that stood out for me was the fact you've actually benching Rogers, which, considering they're playing Everton at home this weekend, is a surprise. But you've actually got a bit of a headache, I would suggest, because at the same time, who would you drop from that 11 if you're going to bring him in?
Exactly. Testament to the strength of my squad.
Yeah, but also it's horrible when your players on the bench do well and you don't. And
the way
that's why I've got a terrible bench.
The way I see it is his price is only going to go up if he performs. So even if he's on my bench, I might earn an extra 0.1 by his value continuing to rise.
Yeah.
So that gives me a little bit of money to play with should I need to.
I like Villa-wise.
Yeah.
Villa-wise, what I think, because loads of us have got Conser. What I like is this guy.
Oh, of course you do.
So they got Pau Torres there, 2% ownership. Conser's on like 13% ownership. They're both the same price, 4.5 million. And Pau Torres has played all 3 games, 90 minutes. Likes a header at a corner.
I'll see your Pau Torres, and I'll
you.
raise you a Luca Digne. He's taken half their corners so far. He's averaging 4 crosses into the box a game. And he's on some of their free kicks as well.
I just feel like Luca Digne, how many years have we been here with Luca Digne?
Yeah, no, I hear you. And there is the threat of Maatsen, who was signed for big money in the summer. But so far, Digne's started all 3 game weeks and has been a threat in terms of, like I say, set pieces and crosses into the box.
Yeah, I'm just a bit nervous about Luca Digne. He's the same price, to be fair, and obviously he's got far more attacking potential than either of the players we're talking about.
Yeah,
and he, based on form, he's the 3rd best player Villa have got behind Onana.
So I think what you say,
Duran.
So to be clear, what you're saying is the correct call, Mike.
Well, I am and I'm not. I just feel scared of Digne. He just feels like a trap.
I was going to say, classic
like James Maddison.
Trap. James Maddison, yeah. Or Ollie Watkins used to be for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, gents, maybe we'll quickly go through the teams. It's been a while since there's Premier League football. Maybe we're best doing a quick team by team this episode.
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
And we can kind of discuss as we go. Shall we go from the bottom of the Premier League table to the top? Would that be a nice, fun way to do it?
Does it start with Southampton?
I'll check. I'll check.
Or is it Everton, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it'll be Everton.
Yeah.
Oh,
Everton.
poor old Everton.
All right.
Right. So Everton, let's have a look at them then. I mean, some of us have still got Jordan Pickford.
Pardon?
Yeah, I still got him because it's an expensive thing making transfers.
Of all the 4.0, excuse me, guys, I'm so tired. It's all this travelling.
What was the best food you ate in Germany? Because people will ask.
I am still on German time, so I'm a little bit exhausted from the jet lag of it all. The best food that I ate, I went to a place called Hamburger Weister,
right?
Which I think is a chain, and it reminded me very much of Five Guys. But you could buy pots of a hot cheese sauce for you to dip your chips and burger in, and it was sensational.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I also ordered a schnitzel, but it was quite soggy. Didn't enjoy that.
You don't like a soggy schnitzel?
Don't like a soggy schnitzel.
No, who does?
But,
all of these are fair comments.
Yeah. And I had a big steak, which resulted in one or two soggy schnitzels. So anyway, yeah. So I ate well. As my granddad used to say to me in my teens, as I was ballooning in weight, "Oh, you do eat well, don't you?" So do eat well. You are a good eater.
Oh,
yeah, you got to be good at something, Mike.
Yeah. If you would ask me what my superpowers are, eating, I would say eating foods that are really hot. I'm good at that. Like
spicy or
no, just in terms of temperature.
Like you've got an asbestos mouth.
Yeah. I'm good at that, and I can also consume vast amounts of meat. And you can play some sort of sound clip that's appropriate to that if you wish.
Oh dear.
No, I won't play a sound clip because
okay,
time is money, money is time.
Yeah.
And Everton we were talking about.
Oh yeah.
So they've
sorry. Michael Keane, 4 million.
Now Braithwaite's come back into training, hasn't he?
Okay.
That's where.
And Michael Keane, he may have scored against Bournemouth, but that was the most Bournemouth thing ever because he is dreadful. He is so bad. And yeah, Everton. I mean, how they react to that defeat against us last time out, God only knows. Because to be 2-0 up in the 87th minute and not get anything from the game is a Premier League first. So
it's brilliant. That's what it is.
It is absolutely brilliant. Yeah, it's brilliant that we could be so atrocious for 87 minutes and still get 3 points. But there we go. But yeah, I mean, I can't. Have you still got Pickford now, Phil?
Yeah. So I this week I really wanted to save a transfer because I don't have all the players I want. But I don't want a wild card. And 2 weeks in a row, I've taken a -4. So I don't want to do that again. I did a -4 last time because I wanted Cole Palmer in before the games against Crystal Palace and then Bournemouth and West Ham. So, I mean,
if you've not used your wild card yet, save it for week 6 or 7 because that's when the fixtures really start to turn.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, I've just checked my team. I genuinely was completely unaware of this, but I also own, albeit third sub, Mikalenko. So, I mean, the temptation...
4.5 million. That's a Lucadinha.
No, but the thing is, he's not 4.5, is he? He's gone down to 4.4. So that's no Lucadinha.
The only thing you would say about Everton is after Villa away this weekend, they have a much kinder run of fixtures. Leicester, Palace, Newcastle, Ipswich, Fulham, Southampton, West Ham, Brentford.
But they haven't had bad fixtures.
But they haven't had bad fixtures. Well, no. And the fact that they're conceding goals for fun, and they're incredibly leaky. But maybe on some of those games, certainly at home, Calvert-Lewin might be one to look at. He looks sharp against Bournemouth.
He's 5.9 million. So if you're like me, you need to, you've got 0.1 million less than a round number, then he's your option.
One bookmaker has already paid out on Everton going down.
Well, that's silly.
That's just ridiculous because they won't.
But they never do.
They never do.
If you could relegate 3 teams, who would you relegate?
Everton, Southampton, and let's choose someone else. Man City.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I'd go. Yeah, that's difficult. Everton would be in and around it. I'd go Man City and
Chelsea would be fun, actually.
Yeah,
actually,
Chelsea.
I'd keep Southampton up. Just because it's nice to have a local game. But yeah, I would suggest Everton definitely, and then Chelsea and Man City.
I'd quite like to see Brighton go down. That's just boring, aren't they?
Oh, I like Brighton. We'll get to them.
For me.
Wolves,
not a big lover of Wolves, yeah.
Okay. Anyway, right. Sorry. So that's Everton sort of covered off.
Kind of. There's not. Yeah, it feels like a strong avoid if you need a cheap third striker, Calvert-Lewin, but it's very unlikely someone's going to go there. Now, a team we did see quite a few people having enablers from was Southampton at the start of the season. They've started pretty badly. They've now got Aaron Ramsdale in goal, though. So 4.4 million Aaron Ramsdale at that. So I could get a straight 5 mil swap from Pickford there.
Just 0.5. Yeah, just 0.5 cheaper. Yeah, Southampton. But the only thing you would say about Southampton is they've got a nice winnable game this weekend, haven't they? At home to Manchester United. So, who seem to be the same Manchester United they've been for about 12 years. Absolute basket case. So, one of those games that you could see any result here. But yeah, I mean, just looking at the Southampton's ownership, I mean, there's barely a player, unsurprisingly, above 1% ownership, and there's a good reason for that. They seem to be hitting the self-destruct button so far, trying to play it out from the back and giving the ball away on the edge of the box. They conceded about 2 goals, didn't they, against Brentford about that. The only one that I did... Sorry, go on.
No, go on.
Sugawara is the only player I thought looked quite decent for them. He scored that good goal, didn't he? The consolation goal near the end. 4.5 million and 0.2% ownership if you're looking for a potential enabler. But personally...
Better 4.5 million defenders. You know, I mean, you're going to tell me that Sugawara was better than... then you'll be very much mistaken.
Indeed, and they've got Arsenal and Man City on the horizon. So, yeah, avoid Southampton assets.
Asking me to pick a Southampton asset is like taking me to some public toilets and asking me which loo I'd like to flush my head down. I
was covering every button there for not knowing where you were going.
Yeah.
The moment
which one would you like to drink out of?
Yeah, okay, fine. Also fine. Better than what I was really worried. So I'm glad you stopped there. Okay, so that's Southampton really. I mean, genuinely, Ramsdale's going to play every game this season unless he gets injured, and he is 4.4 million. So it's just they're going to concede so many.
They play out from the back. That's the thing, and I absolutely love it because it means they concede loads of goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Ooh.
Tell you what.
Hwang was overpriced at the start of the season, and I'm not happy about it. And he's not been playing the full 90 minutes. And what's the point? This Wolves team looked destined for trouble.
Well, the other thing you need to bear in mind, certainly if you're looking short term, is 3 of the next 5. They've got Villa away, Liverpool at home, and Man City at home. And then sandwiched between that, they got Brentford and then Newcastle this weekend. So both 4-man fixtures is not looking exactly favourable, is it, for Wolves at the minute?
So it's a cold, hard dodge.
Yeah.
Okay, but what's weird is that they are a big dodge, as are Southampton, as are Everton, but then we move up to Ipswich.
I love Ipswich.
So I've seen a lot of people with Ipswich assets, you know, albeit because they're cheap, but they are playing more attacking football, and that makes them, you know, a bit more attractive. And they've got, you know, decent fixtures. Brighton, then Southampton, then Villa next. It's not terrible. And even after that, I think they've got some quite good fixtures.
Yeah,
West Ham and Everton, yeah.
They've made some really interesting signings in the summer. So a couple of attacking ones are Ogbene from Luton, who was a handful for them last season. I think he got 4 goals and 4 assists in a team that was struggling.
It's a 5 million midfielder on the game.
He is. And then you've got Schmodix, who's a 6 million midfielder who we've talked about before, who was top scorer in the Championship last season and is listed as a midfielder on the game. Also at the back, Leif Davis, we've done the stat, most assists in the Championship last year. Another one who I really like is Greaves, who again is only 4 million as a defender, and has been getting forward. His XG was, I think, outside of Leif, was the second highest in the whole team over the first 3 games. So Greaves, I like a lot. Jacob Greaves.
Does he? That's sad. Now with young Jacob, he's played the full 90 in every game. Yeah. So because I've got Ben Johnson on my bench, another player who, the more I look at this, the more I'm thinking I need to wildcard Struth, because he played 90 minutes against City and then didn't play against Fulham. Seemingly wasn't injured. Don't know really what's going on there. I really rate Ben Johnson when he was at West Ham. I thought he's got a real good future ahead of him. If he gets, Ipswich, I saw that as a good fit for him. But I could do without my bench players not playing.
Yeah, it's not ideal. The one you not mentioned there is the highest scorer so far, which is Liam Delap. Scored a good goal in the draw against Fulham last time out. 5.5 million. So maybe more on the pricier side as a forward. But with those fixtures coming up, and Ipswich are going to go for it, I would be half tempted.
Statistically, as a threat, he's ranked number 11 out of 213 defenders on the game.
Oh, he's a striker. So that'd be
Agreed.
why. Oh, no, we're talking about Mike. We've moved on from that news that Jacob's grieving, but we're talking about Delap.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Gosh, you
will
really
be.
are struggling with the time zone.
Did you mention his dad used to throw balls a long way?
Didn't mention that, no.
No, but
No.
He's son of Rory Delap.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we know.
He's better looking.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Eze's gone down in price. Mateta's gone down in price, but from a very high perch. I mean, anyone who was paying 7.5 million for Mateta.
Madness.
Yeah. I mean,
4.2% of people were. Good grief.
Yeah, mad. Absolutely mad. But Mateta's back now and he should be fit and raring to go. Now, Eze is really... Henderson, you've got a 4.5 goalkeeper there again for a team that at the back end of last season didn't concede much.
Well, I've got both Henderson and Eze. The underlying stats for Eze, despite a couple of opening weeks with disappointing scores, his underlying stats were really good. He's had 15 shots so far, which is the second of all midfielders in the game.
Wow. And he did score with absolute beauty, didn't he, against Chelsea?
He did. And everything good attacking does seem to go through him. He also looks like he's on pens rather than Mateta. That's the rumour. So, yeah, at 6.9, and with the run of fixtures that they've got, which is none too shabby. They've got Leicester, United, Everton next three. I'll be sticking with him.
If you are a watcher and you want one to watch, Ismaila Sarr he's gone down in price already to 5.9 million.
Okay.
Obviously, we remember him at Watford.
Yeah.
He's a decent player when he's confident, and I could see him playing that role that Elise did. I assume that's kind of why they brought him in.
Phil, when you say one to watch,
yes.
He's played 21 minutes, followed by 19 minutes, followed by 6. So his numbers started at 21 minutes a game and they've gone down progressively.
Well, listen, I'm saying he's one to watch. I'm not saying don't bring him in
because he sat still on the bench. Goodness me!
Right? Yeah. Yeah, all fair comments, but that's why I didn't say he's one to bring in. I said he's one to watch. If he gets a run of minutes, then he'll be good. He'll be one to buy.
Okay.
All right.
I guess that goes for everyone on the game.
Brilliant. Okay. Oh gosh. Right. Another one to watch. Who's got equal amount of minutes so far, but we know he's dangerous. When he comes on, he can do well as this guy.
Oh, no. Not
Jeffrey Schlupp. So you got Jeffrey Schlupp there. If you 4.9 million midfielder, only selected strangely by 0.1% of teams on
2
the
minutes,
game.
9 minutes, no minutes.
11 minutes. This is going really well on Crystal Palace, isn't it?
But
I'll give
in all seriousness, I genuinely think one to watch, not buy, is Sarr.
Okay, well, I would say the one to watch and maybe even buy is Eddie Nketiah at 5.9 million.
Did he go there in the end?
Yeah,
he did.
I'm
still burnt from last season when he scored that hat trick and I had him on the bench.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Oh,
but yeah, 5.9 million for a striker who will start through the middle every game for them now, and with the firepower of Eze behind you.
Right, hang on a second. So you're making these claims. He's going to start every game, yada, yada, yada. Mateta was fantastic for them at the back end of the next season. So
of next season, was he? God, was this Back to the Future?
It could get messy.
It's going well.
Messi, get Messi in. He'll do your job as well. The back end of last season, Mateta was very, very, very good.
He was very good.
I can't see him being shipped out immediately for Nketiah, who is an unproven striker.
I don't see Nketiah going there unless he's had some sort of guarantees about starting.
I have to agree with Mike on this one. I think Nketiah, especially coming from Arsenal, he's going to be starting.
You're both wrong. Next is Leicester.
Oh, Jamie Vardy.
Yeah, we all had fun with that at the start, didn't we? But he has played. Yeah, I mean, he's played like a lot of the teams down the bottom. He's got good fixtures coming up, at least in the short term, of Palace and Everton. But he's played and started every game.
Yeah, he starts for them. And then after Arsenal, on game week 6, they then got Bournemouth, Southampton, Forest and Ipswich. I mean, come on. Jamie, it's time for Jamie Vardy to have another pie here, isn't it? Surely.
Yeah,
5.6 million.
The only issue is they bought in Odsonne Edouard, who on the game is 5.4 million. He can't play this week because they're playing Palace and he's on loan from Palace. But that's going to affect Vardy's minutes quite a lot.
Luckily, he's dreadful. So, I don't think it's going to affect him too much, hopefully.
There's a player in this squad that I really like. And when I was, I think I must have done about 100 different templates, not templates, like trial teams when I was away. I very nearly brought him in as part of a Haaland side. I think a great enabler is Fatawu. Let's go with Fatawu of Leicester. Really, really lively player. His stats were fantastic in the Championship last season. Got his first assist and 3 bonus points against Spurs last time out. And there's only 5.5 million. So, yeah, I definitely. There are 2 players in that remit, and we haven't got to Brighton yet. But Minty at Brighton, named after the guy from EastEnders, and Fatawu, they're the 2, I think, that are going to surprise people this season.
The only thing about Fatawu is he's 5.5 million, and Morgan Rogers is 5 million, playing for a better team. And yes, he hasn't produced the goods yet, but he is definitely capable of doing so.
But I think a lot of people are having to double up on Salah and Haaland, and in doing that, you probably need a couple of players around that price point.
Yeah, fair. I've got Smith Rowe and Rogers, to be fair. Yeah.
So Fatawu as opposed to Smith Rowe, for me, I think is a more exciting watch and stands to maybe make more points than Smith Rowe.
Why not Buonanotte instead of Fatawu? He's done better so far this season. He's got a goal and an assist.
I don't know enough about him.
He was from Brighton, wasn't he?
Was he? Was he good there? Was he? I don't remember him being good.
Yeah, he was an impact sub.
Okay. No, I really like Fatawu. I've been watching him for a little while. Come up the league and yeah. But look, it's just me. It's just me, lads. You know, listeners will make their own decisions.
Right, mixed in with the promoted teams, you've also got Man United then.
Oh,
wow.
Imagine them being that low down already.
Now, good news for people who wanted a budget enabler. I ruined Ahmad by bringing him into my team, and then he immediately got dropped.
Yeah.
5 million. It looked like this is great. We've got a 5 million enabler here for Man United. And it's so hard as a child of the 90s to not just think, oh, that's good. That's a good deal, that. A midfielder from United. We have to remember how bad Manchester United are as a football team.
It's a good shout.
Their squad isn't good.
No,
they've spent so much money on average players.
I mean, you talk about Ahmad. He's still their second highest point scorer so far. So there were 10, and he was dropped in the last game. Xerxes, who scored in the opening game when he came on, 10 points. Those are the top 3 with Mazraoui. You know, Fernandes not having a look in. Glad I've shipped him out. That was a fairly appalling decision I made to start with him. So
who was that? Sorry,
Fernandes.
Yeah, he's gone down in price, hasn't he? 8.4.
Yeah.
But
no wonder.
The stats are still good for Bruno, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he should be on more points than he's on. If you look at the game against Fulham, he should have got goals. If you or at least an assist. If you look at the game against Brighton, he definitely should have got some assists, but he unfortunately is playing with a bunch of people who don't know which way round their legs should be. And against Liverpool, they just got smashed, so they were playing Liverpool. But they're playing Southampton, then they're playing Palace. If you've got Bruno, surely you hold him now, right?
Yeah, I would sit tight.
It's not. He is the only player in that United team who is doing anything apart from maybe Dallo.
I like Garnacho, lads, and he came in to replace your man Ahmad.
Is that why you
last
like
time
him?
out. Say again?
Is that why you like him?
I like him because of his pretty hair and his exquisite jawline. But yeah, 6.4 million.
Also gone down in price.
Yeah, because he didn't start the first 2 games. You see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't mind him as a player, and I think if I had to pick a United asset, he'd be the one I'd be looking at.
Not Mazraoui.
The price is good. Certainly better than Mikalenko for that price point.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's no one in that United team who makes me think, oh yeah, got to get them in.
Yeah.
No. And you just don't see them keeping clean sheets at the moment. Not even to. I can guarantee Southampton will score on Saturday. I'd be pretty sure of that.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, well, we're rushing through Man United because they're rubbish. West Ham. It's weird, isn't it? Because like West Ham have got assets I'd want, whereas Man United don't. So what a crazy world we live in.
Who do you want?
I'd like Jim Bowen.
Yeah. Cracking good, great. He is cracking good, great.
I just like the fact that he can get points against any team, and when he does, he tends to get bonus points as well.
13 from his last 2.
Yeah,
Got to be tempted.
They're just a bit of a meh team, though, aren't they?
I have to agree.
But if you're, I mean, I know he's slightly more, but if you're looking at Eze as a serious option, Palace are a bit of a meh team. I just think give Lopetegui, he's bedding in still, but Bowen is who he's like building the team around. So I like it.
Fulham, Chelsea, Brentford, Ipswich, the next 4 for them.
Okay, yeah, it's not a bad run. I like Kudus, guys. Kudos to him for being half decent. Yeah, I like
and
him.
He's dropped in price again.
Say again?
He's dropped in price, 6.4.
He has, but he's easy on the eye, and I like the way he plays.
Not doing great points wise though, is he? No goals or assists just yet, but he is starting every week.
Yeah,
I had high hopes for Crescencio Somerville at the start of the season. He was in a couple of my drafts actually.
Yeah,
was he? Did he score a hat trick or something in a friendly, or was that someone else?
He did. Yeah.
So he's had 17 minutes, no minutes, 4 minutes, which isn't great.
No.
But one to watch, I would suggest.
Yeah, sounds like a SAR template there, doesn't it?
Yeah, very similar. You're not interested in Areola as a 4.5 million goalkeeper?
I had him at the start of the season, but I moved him out for Henderson because he actually was rotating better with your man Raya.
Okay.
Then there wasn't a lot in it between the two of them, but yeah.
Fulham. Let's talk. We've all wanted to talk about Adama Traore on this podcast for a long time. Let's give the man a bit of airtime. 5 million, the same price as Ahmad, who doesn't play now.
Yeah.
He's finally getting a run of minutes from the start in the Premier League.
Yeah, 90 against Ipswich after starting. We started with 77 and went down 68, back up to 90. Scored 9 points against Ipswich, 5 points against Leicester. He's finally coming good.
I genuinely am there. I'm looking at Ahmad thinking Traore is so much more fun to watch. How often do you get a player that oils up before a game in your squad?
Lovely muscles.
He's the top scoring player in their squad. I like him. Anthony Robinson, if you're listening, folks, and you're thinking about bringing him in, do it quick because he's already at 4.6. There's a price wise warning against him. Looks like he's going to go to 4.7.
Is he? I've got Anthony Robinson.
Yes, 16.9% owned.
He's a fantastic player. Is he that high ownership?
Yeah.
Wow.
Gosh, that's crazy. Yeah.
Adama Traore, by the way, just 2.8 for him.
Ownership. The thing is, I don't want double Fulham midfield, and I've got Smith Rowe. I mean, I could save 0.6 million and get Traore. It's just the thing with Traore is you always feel like he's going to get dropped at one point soon, right?
Yeah.
Just feel that way.
That's my worry. Muniz up front, obviously did very well back end of last season. Loads of people had him in their team. He's 6.1 million. Hasn't scored, hasn't assisted so far. Would you be worried about that if you've got him?
I had him and I dropped him with my wild card. So yes, get rid.
Oh, okay. So, because I've got, we'll get to when we get higher up the league, we'll get to Bournemouth. But I've got Evan Nielsen. So, you know, I don't know how long I can play the game with Evan Nielsen. I've got a horrible feeling he'll never ever score a goal, but it's exciting to have a Brazilian up front. But Fulham wise, is there anyone else there who you're?
Is that an innuendo? Is that sort of an innuendo reference to Baby?
I'll left with you. I can't remember what I've just said, so I don't know.
You said that it's good to have a Brazilian up front, and I just wondered if that was reference to anything beyond football. You know, like hair care.
Right. No.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So Fulham. No one else. I mean, that you're interested in?
No, thank you.
No.
Traditionally, I mean, last year, if you look at
please don't start talking about Tim Ream.
I'm not. He's gone.
Okay.
You know.
Thank goodness. Praise the Lord.
Someone who did get 133 points last year was this guy. Anthony's face. So Leno, he's 5 million, only owned by 2.9% of all players. You know, he's not started the season great. He's got 3 points in every game.
Is he on your one to watch list?
He's on my one to watch. It's one to watch, guys. Definitely he's there.
Oh,
right. Now, somewhere where you'll need more than one to watch is Chelsea.
Yeah.
Just 40 to watch there.
And did you impulsively bring in Madueke after his hat trick just so you could then enjoy his 2 points?
I may have done.
He did.
Yeah, I do have Palmer and Madueke, who are the two highest scorers, but that is purely because Madueke did get 20 points against Wolves and then went back to getting 2 against Palace. But he does have a really nice little run of fixtures. Bournemouth away, West Ham away, Brighton and Forest in the next 4. So, yeah.
The guy at the top of my work league has got Mudryk in his team, and I can't get my head around it. I'm furious.
Mudryk, I can't even work. Oh, yeah. Oh, I love that. He's got a lovely little bun.
Yeah.
He's played more than Sarr, to be fair.
Oh, actually, did Mudryk shave his hair off?
Yeah.
No. Yes.
Oh, yes. This is
looks a bit.
Never do it. Never ever do that. It's just, it's not good for you.
Cole Palmer at 10.6 million. Is he justifying his price tag?
Well, don't forget he's got ongoing issues that need to be treated during the international break.
Yeah.
I mean, before they did play the full 90 against Palace, didn't come off injured. But he's got a very high ceiling. Like any good old grand house, he's got a high ceiling. And I think I wonder if the double up long term of Palmer and Saka is going to match that of Salah and Jota or whoever, you know, in the midfield. If you've not got Salah, you can probably afford to do that double up. Palmer is now owned by 40% of players, which is fairly bonkers considering he's not set the world on fire at the start of the season. Obviously the main issue with Chelsea is you don't know who's going to play, and people. I mean, are you starting to get a sort of niggly Nicholas Jackson feeling yet, or not?
No, not remotely.
I mean, he has got 2 goals and assists in his last 2, 16 points in those 2 games. I'd be half tempted.
You know, if someone like me who's got Isak, and although Isak's got me points, he's not looked fantastic, and nor have Newcastle. So I'm there thinking I could downgrade him to a Chris Wood or a João Pedro, potentially a Nicholas Jackson, just because Nicholas Jackson's got quite low ownership.
6.2%, but he is 7.6 mil.
I mean, you look at all the options they've got. like in those forward spaces. Palmer, Jackson, Medwiki, João Felix, Mudryk, Pedro Neto, Sancho now as well, and Cuckoo, Dewsbury Hall. There's a lot of options there. Rotation's a worry for me.
Right. So João Felix, let's just quickly. He's 6.5 million down as a midfielder on the game. Not really a midfielder in real life. A bit like Salah in that respect, but with less ability and more of a cat food sounding surname. So so he's got 1.1% ownership. He's definitely on the one to watch list, right?
He's like the Dua Lipa for me of football. Highly overrated. Maybe one hit season at Atletico when he was coming through. But really, come on.
But you look at the fixtures for Chelsea.
I see girls.
Yeah, but look at João Felix.
Yeah, okay. Fine.
He wouldn't be on my one to watch this. That's for shizzle.
Okay, but Sanchez seems to be chosen as their starting keeper. We laughed at Ant at the start of the season when he suggested he was going to give him another.
You certainly did.
He was going to give him another chance. So, 4.2% ownership, 4.5 million. Their fixtures are fantastic coming up. If they could just sort themselves out. I mean, I've got Pickford, and I could have the Chelsea starting goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Yeah, seems fairly crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up.
Before you know it, João Felix will be headlining Glastonbury. Absolutely nonsense. Absolute nonsense.
Right, Spurs tricky fixture this weekend against Arsenal. Then they've got Brentford. Then they've got Man United and Brighton. So not a great run of fixtures for them.
No.
So my suggestion would be if you've got Spurs assets, hold them, but maybe don't go bringing them all in right now. They're still mucking around up top a bit, and we don't know whether Solanke's going to be fit, do we?
We're a little way off my claim at the start of the season that Solanke will be the most owned player by the end of it.
7.6 at the start at this moment.
Yeah, 7.6% ownership at the moment. Yeah. But
he might be by the end.
Yeah, injuries played its part there. It's a really difficult one because again they're rotating quite a lot. Son will obviously start, but outside of that, it's quite difficult. You've got Johnson, you've got Kulusevski, you've got Werner, you've got Odegaard. You got
Odegaard, who's
Maddison.
been starting. He started the last two games. Like
I was just gonna highlight
come from Burnley, come from nowhere, really.
But he's also been swapped out for Johnson, and in both games, Johnson has had an impact. So difficult one that. Got the assist last time out against Newcastle, did Johnson. So you wonder if perhaps he's played himself back into the starting 11. But yeah, it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one. There's outside of Son, there's no nailed on starters there.
Well, Porro's a nailed on starter, but
I was talking about in the forward spaces. Porro is
so sorry.
I like Porro. His ownership is dropping. It's down to 34.5%. But I like him. Most shots. Against Newcastle, had more shots than anybody else. Okay,
I like Forest. Have either of you got Wood?
Pardon? It's a bit early in the day for that, mate.
There's a reason
innuendos
today,
Phil.
on the screen, lads.
Come on, people. Let's
a Brazilian and he's got Wood. Guy's name is better as Mike's Vag sausages. Dear, oh dear.
Okay. Quickly.
Different podcast. 6.1 million. 6.1 million is Chris Wood, and he has looked like scoring every time he gets near the ball.
He's got 19 points already. Goodness me.
9, then 1, then 9. Weirdly, the one. I mean, they've played Bournemouth, Southampton, and Wolves. Let's be realistic, and they've now got Liverpool, Brighton, and Fulham coming up.
Yeah. Liverpool,
and then Chelsea.
Anfield. Yeah, they've got a nasty little run there, haven't they? So
I'll tell you who I like, lads, and that's Elliot Anderson.
Yeah, he's just a bit defensive for me.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He
got an assist and 2 bonus points last time out against Wolves.
Yeah, I'm pleased for him, but I can punt the ball forward and
I don't think he is defensive. I'm not sure you've watched enough of Elliot Anderson.
You know what? And if that is how my life ends, and I haven't, I will live that. Well, I won't live. I'll be dead. Wrong again. Gibbs White is more than Wood. If you had to choose between those two, and have one of them in your team, who would it be?
Wood.
Yeah, I think I choose Wood. Yeah, just for his goal scoring form at the moment.
Alanga 5.4. We haven't really, and Ward-Prowse has gone there, and he's now 6.3 million. Surely you're going there to play, right? If you're James Ward-Prowse,
absolutely, he's got to be. Surely.
I mean, we know
Step plays in for Chris Woods. I mean, that's quite the combination potentially.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, predicting by Christmas, everyone will have the Ward-Prowse Chris Wood double up.
Could be.
Hudson-Odoi as well there as well, who's another attacking midfield option. So yeah, they're building a half decent squad there.
They are. Nico Williams, 4.5 million.
Not that one.
Fullback. No. But 4.5 million. I couldn't believe he was playing for Portugal, and then he wasn't. So
Spain.
But I said he wasn't playing for Portugal. So
let's add it to the long list. I don't know what's happened today.
Is he one to watch?
Listen, he's one to watch. 4.5 million, 0.7% ownership, and doesn't play for Portugal or Spain. Now we're getting to the real sharp end of the table. So let's look
which
at
is
Bournemouth.
great because we've got two minutes left before I have to finish up.
Yeah, good. Bournemouth, Semenyo 5.6. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, agreed.
All you need to know. Evan Nielsen, if you want to join me with 0.3% owned, Evan Nielsen seems to be subbed off just after the 60-minute mark every game so far. It's great fun. Really is great fun. Sinistera might get a start this week. That's my prediction. Because Kluivert's not looked fantastic. Aston Villa. No. We did kind of talk Aston Villa earlier. Luca Digne, you were. I'm talking him up. Is he one to watch, or is he's one to get?
He's one to get.
Wow. Now, strangely, in sixth place, you got Brentford, who haven't looked fantastic this season, but have ended up there because of Brian and Burmo.
Yeah.
And Wissa. 24 and 21 points respectively for those two. Yeah, they've hit the ground running, haven't they? But yeah, Man City, Spurs, and West Ham next. Avoid.
Yeah, look, wait to game week 6 for Brentford. I think a lot of people, he'll appear in a lot of wildcards and Burmo, and maybe Wissa as well. Come game week 6 when the fixtures turn for them, starting with a home game against West Ham.
Newcastle. When is Harvey Barnes going to get a start? I mean, apart from the last game he started, when's he going to get another one?
Definitely one to watch. Yeah, just 0.7% ownership, Phil, if you're looking for real differential. But yeah, Newcastle, when are they going to get found out? I like him. I rate him as well. But Newcastle have somehow got 7 points this season. They've been pretty awful. So, yeah, I don't know.
Anthony Gordon's frustrating me.
Yeah, I had to get rid.
Yeah.
I mean, he scored against Bournemouth. I had him for then, and then I got rid and swapped him out for Cole Palmer. Because in the picture on the fantasy football game, Anthony Gordon, if he wasn't wearing a Newcastle shirt and was wearing a school uniform, you wouldn't think the picture would look weird. He looks about 9. In that picture.
He does. And for that reason, you took him out.
Yeah, you've got to have principles. I'm not putting a child in my team.
Right. Who's the oldest looking player that you would have in? Presumably Scott Carson from Man City's on your bench.
I mean, it isn't how I pick all my players,
right?
But
just most of them.
Yeah. He does look quite old actually, and I mean, if you do want a differential for someone who's definitely not going to play at all any minutes, John Ruddy's at Newcastle, 4 million.
Goodness me.
Yeah, Livramento was the talk of the town. Him and Lewis Hall, their ownership has dropped a lot, but their price hasn't. They're still 4.5 million. Got a couple of good fixtures coming up, and then Man City.
Yeah, I'm not sure about their defensive assets at the moment. They look like they can be got at, I would suggest at the moment. So, yeah, hold fire on that one, I think.
Okay. Yeah, Lloyd Kelly's got himself an assist already, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's in there early doors, isn't he?
Last time out against Spurs, 4.5 million. He's got 0.2% ownership.
But he's come off in both those games early, which, to be honest, for a defender, I'm happy with that. If it's after the 60-minute mark, which both of these have been.
Get your clean sheet in.
Yeah, I'm more than happy. So you've got a higher percentage chance of getting a clean sheet if you're getting subbed off early. But it's a bit, how long Eddie's going to do that. That's not a pun. I don't know. Okay, so now we're looking at Arsenal. who obviously got North London derby this weekend, but then
Odegaard out.
have Man City and then Leicester. So yeah, Odegaard's injured, and he is so crucial to what they do.
Yeah,
Who
it's a big
comes
loss,
in
isn't
for
it?
Odegaard? Will it be Raheem Sterling?
Cool.
He's a
I don't know.
different
Is he going to go
player.
straight in?
It's a different
Well,
type
if you
of player.
look at the options that you bring in instead of him, you could double up on Martinelli and Trossard. The two have been interchanging.
I think Trossard would come in. That'd be my guess. Or
Uh,
they play Havertz deeper.
Yeah, well, outside of that, you really have only got Sterling to come in.
Yeah, you're not wrong because
Declan Rice is out as well, lads.
Yeah, he's suspended, isn't he? Yeah, that's a big loss for them.
So that's another midfielder out of the equation.
So is Gabriel Jesus.
Yes, so's Marino. So's Calafiori. Although Calafiori is 75% rated, so he could well start. I think I'd have one eye on Sterling, lads. 6.8 million.
One eye. Is he one to watch?
Well, the fixtures are difficult. The next two, I probably wouldn't be bringing them in game week 6, though. It turns.
Yeah, that's when I'm
6.
looking at Arsenal game week 6. I'm happy to suffer not having Saka right now. I think he'll probably do well in the North London derby because Spurs can't defend.
Yeah,
it's just that City game after. Yeah. Okay. So then you're looking at third in the table currently, Brighton.
Wow.
Fair
Danny Welbeck, boys. Danny bloody Welbeck. Thank you very much.
Him and João Pedro both up to 5.7 million. Matoma up to 6.6 for those interested. Dunk has stayed at 4.5 though.
Yeah.
I like Dunk. I like their run of fixtures. He could score against Ipswich, Forest, Chelsea, Spurs, or Newcastle.
Well, bear in mind Ipswich and Forest is back-to-back home games, so if they're going to get him in, now's the time. But yeah, Danny Welbeck for me, who is rolling back the years. 23 points already.
Yeah, and
feels like he's been around forever. He must be about 100 by now, surely.
He's loving life. He's got to be 100. He doesn't look as young as Gordon does in his picture. That's fair to say.
Yeah, it's true that.
But imagine Danny Welbeck having 15.4% ownership. What a time to be alive.
That is bonkers. My punt this week will be Yankuba Minty. I've already talked him up.
Okay. 2% ownership.
He's had an assist in 2 of the 3 games so far. He's starting. He's 5.5 mil. I like him. At home to Ipswich, I fancy him.
I don't like the fact that they changed from Luke Steele to Verbruggen in goal. It's that sort of nonsense we were getting last year with Brighton goalkeepers.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyone else from Brighton? I really like Dunk actually as an option. And Estupinan is coming back to haunt us. He came on as a sub in that Arsenal game. He's getting fit.
That's good. I mean, enjoy Brighton while you can, because just with all the other fixtures, game week 6, their nice little run comes to an end. So yeah, Ipswich and Forest next 2. I'd imagine Estupinan will probably need a couple more games to get himself properly assimilated. And by the time that happens, they hit an awful run of fixtures. So yeah, Chelsea, Tottenham, Newcastle, Liverpool, Man City.
Okay. Liverpool.
Yes.
We, these teams at the top, we know about. Diaz was the answer when it came to Diaz or Jota. So far, he's got nearly double the amount of points of Jota. At the start of the season, quite a few people were covering off Salah with one of those. And Diaz looks so dangerous, doesn't he? He looks up for it this season. Way more. I mean, obviously, he had a lot going on last year. His dad got kidnapped, didn't he? So that probably makes football a bit less important. But he's really come out the traps this season. He's got 3 goals and an assist in the first 3 games.
Yeah, no, he has looked good. And Jota still continues to play down the middle. The next 3, I mean, I obviously I don't have Salah, but I am tripled up, as I said at the start of the show. So Trent, Diaz, and Jota in my side. Forest at home, Bournemouth at home, Wolves away. That's a very nice triple threat match. It's not a triple threat match, but yeah.
If you had to choose from Diaz, Trent, or Jota, who would you have in your team?
Diaz to me.
Diaz.
I've got Trent. Yeah, Diaz looks really lively so far.
Even though Trent's kept clean sheets, and I mean that won't happen forever, but he's come off early in every game, which is a bit weird.
Yeah, he was very
He's
good for
got
England the other
ongoing
night as well.
issues.
Ongoing issues. Yeah.
Yeah, one to
Okay.
watch.
So Diaz, and of course you said Diaz because he's got the most points so far, and you don't look to the future. You don't have ones to watch. That's your problem.
Yeah, I don't have ones to watch who've played 21 minutes in 3 games, so that's where I'm going wrong.
Yeah.
City is Man City. Then finally is a bit of a weird one because Haaland's got 41 points. The next highest scorer is De Bruyne, who's got 16, which isn't loads. I mean, it's less than João Pedro and Danny Welbeck, I believe. I mean, don't fact check that, but he's 9.6 million. Everyone was on Guardiola. 28% ownership on Guardiola at the moment.
Yeah,
and
got him.
He's 6 million.
Got him, mate.
Yeah, I'd be
He's
getting
not.
Rico Lewis myself
He's
over him. 4.7 mil.
6.5. Oh no, that's Gundogan. Not good. Not Gavardio. Sorry, got my G's muddled up there for a moment.
No, you need to be careful with your G's.
Grealish
But
as
yeah,
well there.
But yeah, we last week we had a question from FPL Commander about Lewis, Rico Lewis,
Yeah.
and he's got him. He's keeping him. He's not playing bad. I can't see Pep just switching him out when he's playing so well.
Yeah,
Feels like
difficult one to call this because we know how
naive.
much Pep likes Walker, and just how many minutes he's had under him. So for me, it feels like it's only a matter of time before Walker comes back in. But
He played 2 minutes, Walker. He came on for 2 minutes in the last game.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he's got ongoing issues. Talking of ongoing issues, Phil Foden, it's gone down in price 9.4 million now. You wouldn't want to take a punt on him just to be the first ones to have him.
Well, he's played 45. He's played one half of football, and the other 2 games he did nothing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a strange one. But
Something's going on there behind the scenes, I reckon.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Well, they've got Arsenal and Newcastle the next 2 after this, so I'm not too fussed. I'm avoiding City. I'm certainly not bringing any City assets in right now.
Yeah, I got rid of
Agreed.
Doku. It wasn't as fun as I'd hoped.
No.
No, and Grealish looked okay for England, but they weren't playing great teams. So City is just a one man team, or I mean, Lewis has gone up to 4.7 million. He's had 2 price increases, Rico Lewis, but which means I don't think he's value anymore at that.
No.
City find a way to concede sometimes. We've got a couple of questions in. Joe asks, between Smith Rowe and Evan Nielsen, who would you start? I love that Joe's got Evan Nielsen.
I love that Joe has 2. That's a tough one because I don't like Bournemouth's fixtures. So here and now, I'd go Smith Rowe.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to agree. Yeah, we've got some tricky games. We've got Chelsea and then Liverpool, haven't we, coming up? So
yeah,
I have to agree.
Good grief! Genuinely, I've just scrolled on notifications. Right. Oh my good grief! I don't know if either of you got the login for our X account, right? In the notifications, you'll see a question from Joe, then you'll see a question from FPL Commander, and then you'll scroll up, right? I don't know if there's a way of not showing this video, right? Then you'll scroll up. No children, watch this. But this is the next notification. Don't know if you can see that on the screen.
What's occurring there? What are they doing?
Wow. Okay, no, not now. No, you can't.
That is what I'm dealing with. That is why we shouldn't be called Fantasy Threesome FPL Podcast. We've been tagged in it. Hashtag bareback. Right.
Didn't look like there were 3 of them.
Right. Leave this conversation. Yes. Leave this conversation. How is it a conversation? I love when I'm the meat inside a sandwich. Get away from me. Block.
Didn't look like there was a lot of conversation happening, I'll be honest.
Right, gone. The question we had from FPL Commander, good grief, man, was Saka to Salah, but also Isak for Welbeck. It would be for a hit, and it would be before the game week 6 wildcard. So
no.
Saka and Isak out for Salah and Welbeck. I think yes.
No.
I think yes. I think definitely
I'd be tempted,
yes.
Oh, guys, everyone's getting very excited about Welbeck. Show your bones.
Oh, I love it. I mean, I would probably go João Pedro. João Pedro's probably got better chance of getting more minutes, although he has been with Brazil this week, so I don't know if he'll start because he might be tired. He got called up for Brazil, didn't he? Yeah. Right. this is right. We're changing our name.
You're getting
Right.
distracted. Just tell everyone what your punt is, and we'll call it a night.
Yeah, it's been a long one. This so let's sort the punt out then. So this is where we pick a player with less than 2% ownership. Who have you got? Who have you gone for then, Mike? You went for
Minty
from EastEnders. You went for.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, Anthony, who are you going for?
I'm going for Harvey Barnes.
Oh, I like. Okay.
0.9% away at Wolves.
Okay, and just so I've got someone in the fixture, I'm going to go for Trossard, 1.9% ownership. I'm thinking he's going to have to come in for Odegaard, or they'll switch stuff up. I just don't see how he's not going to get some game time in there. And then, I'll go Trossard. Raheem Sterling.
Well, we know that you rate players that get some game time. So
yeah, okay, great.
Yeah.
Right, well, must go. But thank you very much, gents. Very detailed, maybe. And just remember to have a watch list. Ones to watch. That's a good way of doing it. And have a good week. And we'll see you on the other side of game week 4. Bye.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.